I'm Daemonxel, and this is your Eve Echoes Weekly Community News, where we take a deep dive into all the happenings of the week. But first, if you can tag that subscribe button, ring that bell, share and like the video, then of course you're going to stay up to date with everything that we have here at the channel. Our first story this week shows a division within the coalition of DOS, where some leaked talks shown a wedge driven between DOS Boop itself as well as Beer, one of their coalition allies. And in these screenshots you can sense feelings of resentment between the two, whereas Boop labels Beer a drag on their resources and that they just stagnate and dwindle in numbers, with their FCs going off to other alliances and basically saying that Beer is just chilling in their space at the expense of Boop proper, living off the expense of DOS Boop's past common achievements. Whereas Beer retorts saying that they have solved many of the conflicts by diplomacy to provide a better gaming experience for all players, as well as keeping it classy and relaxed for PvP. They say they also patrol the pipeline in DBRN for AFK Boop miners, as well as taking flack from other alliances who label Boop players as toxic. By reading just these screenshots alone, you would sense a civil war brewing in between both Boop and Beer. Coupled with that, a screenshot that was sent to me outlining only two options moving forward. And these options were either for Beer or Boop to leave Fountain completely peacefully, while the other will hold an opportunity to organize a corridor for the removal of assets, or merging together. They basically state 8 different points with what merging can do for them. 1 would be they get to remain to live in Fountain. 2, they will get the opportunity to connect with their free dread and mining programs for PvP and mining players. No alliance taxes. What they expect from Beer and other corps within Beer is that Lux will head up the Diplo, that they're interested in correcting their mistakes and leaving the management of the English-speaking part of the alliance to you in the future. And if you didn't know, DOS Boop proper is basically made up of Russian players who play in that time zone, while as Beer is, I believe, Australian as well as American players who play in those time zones. They're basically saying that there is mandatory home defense. Corporations are obliged to independently fully provide their pilots with ships and SRP programs in accordance with the Alliance doctrine. Every corporation should have a person in charge of recruiting. 6, they also want to conduct a survey every 3 months. If a corporation in those 3 months could not reach the mark of at least 10 live players, then they will merge or kick those corporations out. Number 7, 2 times a month they will hold officer meetings from each corporation. There must be at least 1 representative authorized to make decisions. And lastly, 8, each corporation must provide 1 FC or person who is interested in their own development of that area. And they leave it off with giving them 48 hours to make their decision. Now, of course, we are all facing a player drought in this game. The summertime always does that. We have players that leave who go out to live their lives, but also due to content there is a player decline. Now those numbers should possibly theoretically go up as we move into fall, but all alliances, all corporations are feeling the squeeze. Now a lot of entities within Fountain were expecting this conflict to blow up and to provide the region with a hotbed of PvP activity. However, this would not be the case, as I did reach out to both Beer and DOS Boop for comments on this situation. Lux Rose from Beer gave a statement that Boop and Beer are made up of corps and pilots who have been good friends throughout most of the game. Like in all friendships, words are often said and emotional in nature, which never convey the truth of what is actually happening. Boop and Beer have worked together, as we always have, to continue our coalition. Our community continues to work together, and we are looking forward to a bright future as allies and friends, as we have always been. Whereas Boop gives a statement saying that they don't believe a special statement is needed here, that the screenshot was taken out of context, and he won't give any context to that screenshot since it was a private chat. But I want to finish off by saying that all we need to know is that they were all working together to improve their community, cooperation, player experience, as always. And lastly, both agree that moving forward, Boop is as strong as ever with its ties to its allies. Now, as always, we will keep a weathered eye towards that region of Fountain to see if it does smolder into some other conflict down the road. In another story, a petition was formed for no police stop to declare war on Void. Now, they are looking for 100 signatures for this petition. 47 at this moment of this recording have signed up. Now, let's get a little backstory, exactly what they're calling the fight for freedom. They state that a rabid Void fleet crippled HTP operations and attempted to strip the zoo, that would be their citadel, of its shields, and only the brave actions of its lowly PvP-less pilots managed to save the shields and allow the zoo to repair. No are currently attempting diplomatic channels to communicate with Void, but unfortunately, it's fallen on deaf ears. Their despicable actions will not go unchecked. War is the only option left. Now, obviously, this does sound like a troll move, or basically a big practical joke, but we did have to follow up on it. So, of course, I did reach out to Void for a statement on what they saw on this and what they felt was going on here. And Daemonxel gives a statement saying that while it was two members who flew around for 3 hours looking to kill something and then decided to yeeting to the closest neutral territory up north, it was a one-way trip for them and ended with them shooting a citadel to 80% shields looking for a response. To be honest, it just looks like typical trolling from a disgruntled member who was removed from Void. I'm not sure why there is so much fuss over two Tempests tapping shields, coming from a PvP alliance which agrees to shield tapping. 2 days later, I was graced with a kill mail, basically stating that this was the first strike against Void, as No claims one of their citadels within a Badger 2 kill. Since then, nothing else has been reported between the two, and as this war could likely actually happen, they would have to fulfill all their contracts prior to. However, at this point, it just looks like a bunch of shenanigans. Now, two more stories coming out of No Please Stop. One is a very good human interest piece. On this would be on the 6th of September, a total social media campaign went out for fellow player Lynwood, who has unfortunately fell on hard times. And now the clarion call went out for this member, stating that due to a stroke of bad luck, a member of our community has become homeless. He had car trouble, which resulted in him losing his job as an inspector, and is now living on the edge of sleeping in the streets. Last night, he slept in a post office to find shelter, and we find this unacceptable and urgently need a solution. He has always helped members of the community selflessly for 2 years straight. We have an incredible community in this game, and I hope we can band together to help Lynwood out of this tough time. Some of us are enemies in game, some allies, but in the end we are all humans and EVE players, and some are the smartest gamers around. He is too proud to ask for help, so we are asking for in real life SRP to fix his car, help find him shelter. He lives in Georgia. If anyone there has a business or able to help him find a job, this would also help tremendously. Please consider donating to this GoFundMe for even a small donation of $5 or $10. Everything helps. Let's get this man back up on his feet. Respectfully yours, Tahini. Now this, as I said, clarion call went across all social medias. Everyone was posting up on their Discords, through their Twitters, through any known way of getting out there. The Reddits, unfortunately, the r/echoes Reddit was not participating in this. The post there was actually taken down. Now, multiple people reached out to the mods of r/echoes to find out exactly why this post kept getting taken down. And we finally got a response from the r/echoes subreddit that states, no GoFundMes. Sorry, too many GoFundMe scams on r/Eve that seemed legitimate, which later turned out to be illegitimate, have ruined it for everyone. Now, I too, as a member of the press corps, reached out to find a response from them as well, and the only statement I received was that they were not going to discuss other posts with me. But that's okay. The GoFundMe was up for 6 hours and it shattered the goal. Now, originally they were asking for $2,500, and that goal was met and crushed by the grand total of $4,325. Now, special shouts out to the people who donated $100 each. There was one player who donated $150, one that did $200, one that $300. Now, a special thank you goes out to two special players, one from the Space Cows, Devestivia, which donated $500, and also another player who we do not know who is associated. I have seen this name in the past, I just don't remember who they are associated with. Deuce Volt actually donated $1,000 to the cause. Now, because this limit has been met and broken, they did turn off the donation so they could get those funds out to Lamborghini to help them immediately. Now, if that wasn't enough, there were also many job offers that came in to help them out as well. So I love the fact that this community, no matter what divisions we are facing with, will always pull together in a time of need when one of us is down and out. So a big special thanks to those players who donated. Special thanks to Tahini and No Please Stop, who did do this fundraiser. And if you didn't know, Lamborghini is actually very generous in-game, as he has sponsored multiple prizes from Rambo's Echoes of New Eden podcast through all those games, as well as multiple donations to the freighter raid that I ran a few months ago. So it's always great to see this generosity given back tenfold. Here at the channel, we do hope that Lamborghini gets on his feet again relatively soon, and many prayers and positive energy out to him. Also, in another story, also featuring No Please Stop, and a player that we have covered multiple times here on the channel. That would be JFactor. In a surprising post today from Tahini, it was basically putting New Eden on notice. It states that, as many of you are aware, there have been many long opinions and talk about JFactor, a member of the community that has been shunned for making toxic and unacceptable comments in the past. The result of those comments led to political changes within the game, as well as JFactor's own retirement from Eve Echoes. Now, we did cover this a few episodes back, how he was leaving for the good of the community, as well as for his own health, mentally. It goes on to state that he publicly apologized for his statements shortly after making them, and has continued to express regret for his actions since then. We have not heard anything negative from JFactor since that time. We in No believe in giving people second chances and have accepted his public apology. We strongly believe that an individual can change. That belief has been proven itself to be accurate in many circumstances, and in some it has been proven to be false. That being said, everyone deserves a change to the right the ship and forge a new destiny unhindered by the mistakes they have made in the past life. We will be accepting JFactor into our ranks on a trial basis, assuming that he can adhere to our expectations for continued behavior. We will have a new home in No Please Stop. In the event that he relapses and shows that he has indeed not changed, we will take appropriate and proportional action. We have a strong track record of taking in black sheep of the community and turning them into respected capsuleers. We will undertake the responsibility of making this happen. I urge you all to leave the past in the past and give a once respected member of our small New Eden community a chance to redeem himself. So, the question is, since he had come out before in the past in Terran Federation, who also believed in second chances and who was basically pushed out again by Silent, will this spark a new conflict between Silent as well as No Please Stop? Only time will tell, but it is good to see a character player come back to the community, especially one who is very well known. So we do wish JFactor luck in his new life in No Please Stop, and we can only wait and watch to see exactly what unfolds. You all remember that fake honk Gooseflock Federation from way back when? Now I'm talking about the ticker HQNK, not HONK. Well, in shocking news today, unfortunately they have gone bankrupt, as the Gooseflock Federation was forced to disband due to financial difficulties. So I guess the fake honk could not get enough money in those mining permits to keep them afloat. The unfortunate series of events that has plagued Lynwood after leaving No continues in another chapter. Last episode we covered the nuking of his personal Discord server This week, his trust was placed within the wrong person, which resulted into a loss of a Naglfar. Lynwood states that he was signing from Socket to Ned Station, but ended up at the Sun with no members rep and full send awaiting his arrival. Pings went out as soon as the tackle was secured on the Dread. Red Rocket, the Sino pilot, was acting funny, according to Lynwood, after receiving the contracted Sino ship. Once the jump was completed, comms were dropped, and the trap was sprung, resulting in the 36.8 billion loss. When asked, Lynwood theorizes that the trap was set by Rep because he did not like Lynwood's comment about a failed tackle in the Great Wildlands, therefore having to rely on an AWACS to get the job done, paying off Rocket to help. I reached out to both Fulsend and Rep for their side of the story, where Fulsend takes credit for the trap, stating that this was a personal move, nothing political, and in no way involves No Please Stop. Rep also had a comment on this: talk shit, get hit. I also want to throw some shine out to some lesser known content creators out there for Eve Echoes. This week we're going to feature Kevinator1990, who is a regular on the Kills of the Week boards. But go ahead and check his channel out. The link will be in the description below for some interesting and great PvP videos. This week on What the Fit, when you think nightmare, images of the great bubble tank fill your mind, and this pilot was banking on that image as he flew this laser and missile mare down the barrel of the beast with their ballistic controls, tracking, and guidance computers, with only an adaptive shield and reactive armor to protect them. This Rattlesnake pilot has made the decision to bring this ship back to Galante space and fit it by the standards of their Galante heritage, by losing the missiles for large snubs. Now, before we get into the big kills of the week, an honorable mention goes out to this 1 billion Daredevil. Now, I'm not sure if the pilot intentionally loaded up on the cores and the skins to inflate the kill mail, or mistook the Daredevil for an interceptor hauler. Either way, enjoy the kill mail. First on the list this week is the Dark Trojans with a 28.8 billion Bargus kill. The Sixth Seal Alliance comes in this week with 2 Balgorn kills, one at 5.2 billion, the other at 5.7, a 5.1 billion Vindicator kill, a 10.9 billion Rattlesnake kill, a 5.5 billion Stratios kill, a 14.5 billion Bargus kill, and lastly a 7.8 billion Cinnabal kill. The Brethren Court gives us a 6.8 billion Balgorn kill. Das Boop gives us a 5.2 billion Balgorn kill and a 5.9 billion Rattlesnake kill. Red Scorpions gives us a 5.9 billion Macarial kill, a 5.2 billion Balgorn kill, a 7.5 billion Typhoon 2 kill, and a 6.7 billion Orca kill. Void also makes the list with a 9.2 billion Orca kill and a 5.3 billion Vindicator kill. Now, in your capital kills of the week, we only have 2 this week. We have Wild Geese with a 53.2 billion Thanatos kill, as well as Red Scorpions with a 38.5 billion Revelation kill. And now we come to everyone's favorite part of the show. That's right, a chance to win a free Omega combo. Now we do this with the PvP solo kills of the week, broken up into 2 categories. First the Industrial, then the PvP. Starting us off in Industrial is Tofanofu with a 1.1 billion Covered 2 kill. Audrey Wolf gives us a 2.6 billion Nereus 2 kill. Jordan 1993 gives us a 2.8 billion Orca kill. Captain Oblivious gives us a 3.4 billion Orca kill. Opid with a 3.5 billion Venture 4 kill. Yeegs gives us a 14.8 Badger 2 kill. And winning this week in the Industrial category is Muffin with a 14.9 billion Bestower kill. Moving right into the PvP category, we have Ember Huntress with a 1.1 billion Rupture Interdictor kill. Oigi Oigi Oi Oi with a 2 billion Abaddon kill. Reaper with a 2.1 billion Roke kill. I'm going to mess this one up. Hatatube with a 2.2 billion APOC Striker kill. Rama Llama with a 2.4 billion Praxis 2 kill. Pollux with a 2.6 billion Ferox kill. M1A1 with a 4.4 billion Vindicator kill. Noxmaster with a 4.6 billion Raven Striker kill. Badran with a 5.2 billion Balgorn kill. And winning this week in the PvP category is Airbus A380-800 with a 9.4 billion Rattlesnake kill. Congratulations on your prizes. Hook up with me on Discord to learn how to receive your prize. And that's going to do it for this week on your community news. But if you do need more news in your life, I'm going to send you to a couple places. You know where they are. That is Sky News, Russia's premier Eve Echoes Outlet News. Don't worry about the language barrier. All the videos are in English subtitles. Also, you have the ever-popular Echoes of New Eden podcast with Rambo and Taylor Rick. And if you want to be part of that live studio audience, you just have to be in their Discord server on Thursdays when they do the recording. Also, every Sunday you have a great time over at New Eden Radio, where we just put politics aside, we learn about some news, the game news, and have a great time listening to some music and talking. So for me, have a great week, have a great weekend, fly safe, and remember, we are always one vision, one purpose, one front.